Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a great show today, and I'm calling it Patience, Perseverance, and Practice. Oh, all three are hard to do. Hi, folks, I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for listening today. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after the break. So the other day, I saw a man who had a telling scar of a knee replacement. And what made it so unusual is that I noticed his knee was stiff and not very workable. So he had learned to swing it in a walking motion instead of walking with a normal gait. When I asked about his surgery, he admitted he had not done all the exercises that were required right after surgery, and the knee healed in a stiff position. I'm sure that he could stretch the muscle and sinew to make his walking easier, more natural, but here he is many years later, and he's grown comfortable with the swinging step instead of a solid knee lift and set down motion of a solid step. All right, so I am no expert on knee surgery, but I do have 2 new knees, and it's been a couple years since my surgeries, but I will joyfully and freely admit, oh man, it was life-changing to these old basketball knees to be able to walk without pain. Like many of you, I grew up playing sports, and back then, because I'm old, we did not know to buy new tennis shoes so often, and for different sports. One pair usually held us for the year. So if a heel was worn down, we compensated so we never would miss a game. And then life and extra pounds of not playing ball every day after school, they began to take their toll. Then joining the gym and wanting to relive the glory days, that takes its toll also. And then one day, you have a hard time walking in the morning and late at night and in the afternoon. Anytime your body gets tired, those old knees hurt. So off to the doctor you go, and lo and behold, after a few trial procedures of shots and gels and other options, you understand that if you want to maintain an active lifestyle and get back to being your grumpy old self, you're going to need some new knees. The surgery was not bad. At least it wasn't for me. It's the getting up a few hours after surgery to stand and move just a bit to make sure the body is functioning well. That's a shock to the system. And then the blessing of a shower 3 days later is almost as good as a tropical vacation. Once you pass joint camp, yes, there is such a thing, and they teach you the proper exercises for full movement, you get to go home. And then a personal choice is made to either work the knee as best you can while lying in bed or holding onto the counter to do your exercise, or sit in the lazy boy and watch TV with an occasional walker shuffle to the bathroom and then back to the safety of your chair. In most cases, a physical therapist will come to your home to help you with the slightly painful exercise for full movement. And then they help you learn to walk again without swinging the leg, a very easy thing to do. They will insist on the bending and stretching of the new knee, and simply put, it takes patience, perseverance, and practice. If you wimp out on patience, perseverance, and practice, or any of the 3 requirements, the healing is going to take longer and the results could be compromised. Okay, I know you didn't sign up to listen to Deb's new knee adventure, but watching the gentleman struggle really hit home to me. Of course, I'm not sure why his knee's not working great. He probably doesn't even know. But I do know this, there is no shortcut to regaining the power of the knee to function properly without patience, perseverance, and practice. And that visual of a stiff-kneed man and the daily reminder of my 2 gifts of new knees, well, it made me stop and think about what it takes in life to successfully push past the pain and the hurt that so many people feel darkens their lives. It was John Quincy Adams who said, "Patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish." I like that thought because it's true, and it's a great reminder that successful pushing past the pain and hurt in our lives is not going to happen overnight. To be truly healed will, in most cases, take patience, perseverance, and practice for the long haul until the mending of life begins and you settle into a comfortable routine, which allows you to live in the joy of the moment day after day. Without a doubt, you know that anything that is broken or hurt needs time to heal. And yet we are all guilty of rushing from one quick fix to another, looking for a magic potion to make the pain go away, only to be disappointed and back to square one for a reset on a complete healing. Think about the last cold or fever you had. You were miserable, and then one day you felt a little better and you pushed yourself, only to find that your one step forward now caused 3 steps back. And here you are moaning and groaning about the pain of being sick and physically hurt when, if you had just waited until full healing, you would not have had a relapse. All right. So I have a lot of themes on pushing yourself because no one else is going to do it. And while that's true, don't forget the other side of the equation, which is sometimes you need to slow down and get well before you can push yourself to be your best. Now, I'm not saying you should not push yourself to do what needs to be done. Just be careful that you don't hurry the process or push in the wrong direction, or you will be back to square one with damage that will take longer to heal and very well may not heal correctly. The late motivational preacher, the Reverend Robert Schuller, is famous for saying, "Never cut down a tree in the wintertime. Never make a negative decision in a low time. Never make your most important decisions when you are in your worst moods. Wait, be patient. The storm will pass. The spring will come." As we head into a new season, I think it's a great reminder. As hard as you push in the right direction to make your dreams come true, friend, don't forget to practice patience and perseverance so that your physical, emotional, and mental healing will be complete and whole. And then you can run the distance with strength and power. Napoleon Hill, father of the self-help movement, said, "Patience, perseverance, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success." I completely agree that it takes all 3 attributes to create a life of joy that is long-lasting and fulfilling. And in my book, that's a pretty good end goal for living a life well lived. In this life, we're going to experience pain and hurt, whether it's from friends or family or co-workers. And for some who are listening to my podcast or reading my books, that pain is emotional or mental, or dare I say physical. If physical, you need to take action and walk away. While your head will pound with a desire to push through and be done so you can move on to the next responsibility or adventure, you also need to be self-aware enough to understand your limit to absorb the pressure and learn how to make accommodations so you can move carefully and safely to your next obligation. Working through the pain might be the mantra of the mixed martial arts fighters, but most of us don't have to push our bodies to a flat line of pain and recovered enough to fight another day. The average age of an MMA fighter is mid-30s. For many of us, those days are long gone. But friend, be wise where you are at this stage in life and take the long view so you are healing from pain and the hurt will be fully recovered as you journey into the next chapter of your life. No doubt you'll get there ready to go with a spring in your step if you follow the path of patience, perseverance, and practice for the rest of your days. All right. I know, different kind of a show, but friend, I think it's so important because I see everybody with the telltale signs of new knees, how we all walk now. It is interesting to watch. Okay, you've been listening, believe it or not, to Deb Sofield's encouragement for your rockstar amazing life, and I hope you'll join me next week so we can continue the journey together as we work towards a better day. And remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you. And I care about you because I believe you can do big things. But friends, that only happens if you've got some patience and you are strong to persevere and then you practice in the right way. I know you can do it. And here's my promise. I will walk alongside you as we follow that dream together. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody. Join me next week.